Schlangen, welcome back to another video. Today we have a good one for you today. In the responsive web design certification, we're working on the next part of CSS, I guess. Learn accessibility by building a quiz. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We have 67 challenges to go through, so let's get started. Accessibility is making your website easy for all people to use, even people with disabilities. In this course, you'll build a quiz, a web page. You'll learn accessibility tools such as keyboard shortcuts, ARIA attributes, and design best practices. So pretty useful stuff here. Let's get started. Here's a preview of what we're going to be building. It looks like we have a nav bar up here with our student info, HTML question 1, question 2, CSS, and a submit button. So it looks good. Let's start coding. Step 1, welcome to the first part of the accessibility quiz. As you are becoming a seasoned HTML and CSS developer, we have started you off with the basic boilerplate. Start this accessibility journey by providing a lang attribute in your HTML elements. So we need lang of English here. Okay, and this will assist screen readers in identifying the language of the page. Awesome. All right, step 2, you may be familiar with the meta element already. It is used to specify information about the page, such as the title, description, keywords, and author. Give your page a meta element with appropriate char set value. All right, so let's add a meta tag in here. Char set equals UTF-8. We did this a bunch already. Should be good. Yep. All right, continuing with the meta elements, a viewport definition tells the browser how to render the page, including one better's visual accessibility on mobile and improves SEO, which is search engine optimization, so that Google can find it. Add a viewport definition with a content attribute detailing the width and initial scale of the page. All right, so here we want meta name equals content, I think, and then viewport equals, or name equals viewport, and then content equals this initial scale thing. Let's see here, detailing the width and initial scale of the page. Oh, how did we do this before? Yeah, maybe it'll tell me. Yes, awesome. So we just need this content attributes. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to donate. Ask me later. Another important meta element for accessibility and SEO is the description definition. The value of the content attribute is used by search engines to provide a description of your page. Add a meta element with name attribute set to description. All right, so meta name equals description. And then give it a useful content attribute equals quiz. All right, let's try that. Looks like it works. Awesome. Lastly, in the head, the title element is useful for screen readers to understand the content of the page. Furthermore, it is an important part of SEO. So we just have to add title and then give your page a title. Okay, so I'll just do quiz like so. What do we have? Oh, it has to be at least 15 characters. Quiz application. There we go. Navigation is a core part of accessibility, and screen readers rely on you to provide the structure of your page. This is accomplished with semantic HTML elements. Add a header and a main element to your page. All right, easy. These are semantics, just like a div. It just describes what it is inside of our code. All right, so main, like so. Looks like that's fine. Within the header, provide context about the page by nesting one image h1 nav elements. All right. So go image, which is self-closing, h1, which we have to close, and then nav, which we also have to close. All right, the image should point to here with an ID of logo. All right, so ID equals logo, and then our source equals that URL. Oh my gosh, I just did Control C. I need Control V in here. All right, and have an ID of logo. The H1 should contain HTML CSS quiz. All right, let's grab that, put it here. Should be good. Awesome. Step 8, a useful property of an SVG is that it contains a path attribute that allows the image to be scaled without affecting the resolution of the resultant image. Currently, the image is assuming its default size, which is too large. Correctly scale the image using its ID as a selector and setting the width to max 180. Okay, so we're going to grab its ID as a selector. The ID of it is, what's the ID of it? Logo. I can't believe I forgot that, but whatever. Logo. And then we need the width to be max of 100 pixels and 18 view width, like so. And now it's super small. Okay, there we go. As described in the FreeCodeCamp style guide, the logo should retain an aspect ratio of 35/4 and have padding around the text. First, change the background color to that. All right. Background color, hashtag 0A23, which will be like a blackish color. All right. Then use the aspect ratio property. Aspect ratio to give it a 35/4 ratio. Finally, add a padding of 0.4 rem. Padding of 0.4 rem. Okay, I think that's all we need. Nice. All right, make the header take up the full width of its parent container. All right, so we're going to grab the header, then set its height to take up the full width. So you can do that with width 100%. And then set its height to 50 pixels. And then set the background color to hashtag 1B1B32. Right. And then also set the display to use flexbox, so we can just do display flex. And there we go. Looks good. Change the H1 font color to that color. All right, so we're going to grab our H1s. We're going to grab this color, and we're just going to do color, and then paste that in. And we also want font size to change to this min 5 view width 1.2 em, like so. Awesome. All right, to enable navigation on the page, add an unordered list with the following 3 list items: info, HTML, CSS. List item should be wrapped in anchor tags. All right, so we just want to do list item 3 times. This should also be unordered list in here, so UL, UL back here. Actually, I should have done this a little better. Let's format this a little nicer. This has to be LI, and actually close that, and then do that 3 times. And we need info, HTML, and CSS. All right, that should be good. No, you should nest 1 element inside each LI. Okay. The list item text should be wrapped in anchor tags. Okay, let's just alt here, A. All right, and then let's alt here again, and we need another A here, backslash. All right, I think that's good. Yeah, awesome. All right, target unordered list elements within nav elements and use flexbox to evenly space the children. All right, so we're gonna go nav UL, target unordered list elements within nav elements. Okay, nav UL. I think I can do nav UL LI like that, and it will grab it. I can use, actually, let's grab, I just want the UL, and then I can do display flexbox on that. So let's try that. Let's go display flex, and then justify content, space around. Let's see if that works. Okay, nope, you should give nav UL justify content space evenly. All right. At least I got the first part right. Awesome. That works. All right, as this is a quiz, you will need a form for users to submit answers. You can semantically separate the content within the form using section elements. All right, yes, within the main element, create a form with 3 nested section elements. All right. So let's do section, slash section, 3 of those. All right. It's weird we can't see the links, but they're actually there. They're just black, so we can't see the text. Okay. Uh, create a form with 3 nested section elements, then make the form submit to here. Oh, I need a form in here. I see. Form. And then I need a button inside the form. Is that what it wants? And make the form submit to here. Okay, so button, or is that action? Something like action in the form or something like that. Let's see what they say. Yeah, action. Yeah, action attribute in here. Action equals, and then we give it this URL. Let's put that here. Should be good. Nope. You should give the form element a method attribute with value post. All right. So we're gonna go method equals post. See if that works. Awesome. All right, to increase the page accessibility, the role attribute can be used to indicate the purpose behind an element on the page to assistive technologies. The role attribute is part of the Web Accessibility Initiative, or Y, and accepts preset values. Give each of the section elements the region role. Okay, so what? The role attribute. Okay, so alt, we'll go role equals region. Never done that before, but I guess it's good for accessibility. Every region role requires a visible label, which should be referenced by the area labeled by attribute. To the section elements, give the following ARIA labeled by attributes. All right. So we need ARIA labeled by in here. ARIA labeled by, labeled by equals student info, HTML questions, CSS questions. Looks like. Let's grab these, paste them in. All right, then within each section element, nest one H2 element with an ID matching the corresponding area labeled by attribute. Give each H2 suitable text content. All right, so inside of each of these, we need H2s, H2 slash H2, and then we need ID equal matching the area label by, so student info, HTML questions on this one. And then CSS questions on this one. CSS questions. All right, and then we want to give text inside the H2s, I think. So I guess I'll do that. Some text. Hopefully it'll just like make it correct. Okay. Yep. Okay. It'll make it correct. Awesome. All right. Typeface plays an important role in the accessibility of a page. Some fonts are easier to read than others, and this is especially true on low resolution screens. Change the font for both H1 and H2 elements to Verdana. H1 and H2. We want our font family to be Verdana. Okay. And use another web, say font in the sans serif family as a fallback. Right. And then sans serif. I think that's good. Also add a border bottom to H2 elements to make this section distinct. All right, so we'll just grab our H2 and border bottom of 4 pixels, solid, hashtag DFE2. Okay, I think that's good. Let's try it. You should use a multiple element selector. Oh, I just need a comma here. There we go. That's Verdana. Nice. All right, step 18, to be able to navigate within the page, give each anchor element an href corresponding to the ID of the H2 element. All right, so we just need to give each of these an href equaling the ID of the H2 elements. What? the ID of the H2 elements. Oh, okay, so I think it's hashtag and then HTML questions, CSS questions, and student info. So I just have to grab those here. Grab this guy here, and then CSS questions. I think that's what it should be. Yep, awesome. All right, filling out the content of the quiz below hashtag student info, add 3 div elements with a class of info. Below student info, add 3 div elements with a class of info. All right, so div class equals info slash div. Bring that down a couple times. Then within each div, nest 1 label elements. All right, so within each div, nest 1 label elements and 1 input element. All right, so we'll go label and input. I think that's good. Nice. Come on, next challenge. Okay, step 20. It is important to link each input to the corresponding label element. This provides assistive technology users with a visual reference to the input. This is done by giving the label for attribute, which contains the ID of the input. This section will take a student's name, email address, and date of birth, give the label elements appropriate for attributes as well as text content, and link the input elements to the corresponding label elements. Oh man, this one's going to be tough, or a little tougher than the others. Giving the label a for attribute. All right, so each of these we need a for attribute on. For equals, all right, and then we want name, email, and date of birth. All right, so we're going to go name first. Name, email, DOB. Okay, and then give the label elements appropriate for attributes as well as text content. Oh, it also contains the ID of the input, so I think we need ID here. ID equals name, email, and date of DOB. And then we can do, as well as then link input elements to corresponding label elements. I think I can do name here, email, and date of birth as well, just to give the label something. I'll go date of birth. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, awesome. That's all we needed to do. All right, step 21, keep in mind best practices for form inputs. Give each input an appropriate type and name attributes. All right, give each input an appropriate type and name attribute. All right, then give the first input a placeholder attribute. All right, so we just need type equals text, name equals student name. Oh, they changed my my thing to student name, student email, birth date. Screw you. I'll just do that. Hopefully this is fine. Email, DOB. And also give the first one a placeholder. Okay, so we just have to add placeholder equaling to name. I don't know, whatever. Let's try that. You should give, oh yeah, that should be type email. That's right. And then this one should be date. Let's try that one. Nice. All right, even though you added a placeholder to the first input elements in the previous lesson, this is actually not a best practice for accessibility. Too often users confuse the placeholder text with an actual input value. They think there is already value in the input. Remove the placeholder text from the first input element, relying on the label being the best practice. Yes, okay. Let's get rid of that placeholder because it's apparently very confusing. All right, arguably DOB is not descriptive enough. This is especially true for visual impaired users. One way to get around such an issue without having to add visible text to a label is to add text only a screen reader can read. Append a span element with the class of SR only to the current text content of the third label element. All right, so this label element, we need SR. Append a span element. Append this to the current text content. All right, so we need a span in here somewhere. maybe here. And then inside of there, we need SR only equaling to the current text. Okay, okay, so D dot O dot B dot. I think that's what they want. Let's see. You should give the span element a class of SR only. Oh, class equals SR only. Like that. SR only, and then inside of here we need D dot O B dot B. What? I'm not sure if this is right. Oh, but I guess it is. Okay. Let's go on. Within the span element, add the text date of birth. Yeah, within the span element. Okay, yeah, we need date of birth in there. Makes sense. Paste that in. Check it. Yep. All right, the SR only text is still visible. There's a common pattern to visually hide text for only screen readers to read. This pattern is to set the following CSS properties. Holy Nikes. Are you kidding me? All these properties you need for this? And this is common, you say? I've never seen this in my life. Okay, so it's hidden, but like apparently screen readers can still read it. Okay, whatever. Within the second section element, add two div elements with a class of question block. Within the second section element, add two div elements with a class of question block. All right. So we'll just go div class equals question block. Bring that down. Then within each div question block, add one p elements with text. All right, so we need p's in here. P, p element with text of incrementing numbers. All right, so 1. And then the second one is 2, and 1 field set element with a class of question. All right, so we also need a field set. Field set with a class equaling question. Field set. I think like that. Let's check it. Nice. Each field set will contain a true-false question. Within each field set, nest one legend element and one UL element with two options. Okay, let's see here. Let's do a couple cursors. Nest one legend element. Legend. All right, and then within the nest one legend element and one UL elements. Okay, so under here, we need two ULs, or one UL with two list items. So we'll go unordered list, and then inside of that, we need two LIs. So we'll go li/li and bring that down one. Looks like that works. Okay, so there we have that. Let's check it. Looks like it works. Awesome. Give each field set an adequate name attribute. Then give both unordered lists a class of answers list. Give each field set an give each field set an adequate name. Field set name equals question 1 and 2. And then give both unordered list class a class of answers list. Give each unordered list. Okay, so in here, in each UL, we need a class equaling this, which is answers list. And then finally use the legend to caption the content of the field set by placing a true false question as the text content. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do for that. Let's just, are we smart? How about that? Are we smart? Check. You should not use the same text. Okay. Let's say we are smart. Awesome. provide the functionality of the true-false questions, we need a set of inputs which do not allow both to be selected at the same time. Within each list element, nest one label element. Within each list element, nest one label element. And within each label element, nest one input element. All right, so let's grab all four of these guys. And let's do a label. Label / label. And then within our label, we need input element with the appropriate type. So we're going to go input type equals text, like that. We need a set of inputs which do not allow both to be selected at the same time. Oh, it has to be radio. That's why, not text. Radio. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. Awesome. All right, although not required for label elements with a nested input, it is still best practice to explicitly link a label with its corresponding input elements. Yep, link the label elements with their corresponding input elements. How do we do that? With for, right? For an ID. So uh, let's grab all four of these again. Label, oh my gosh, label. I'll do for equals inputs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep it simple. Inside the inputs, we're going to also grab those and give them IDs. ID equals input 1, and then change these to 4. This one is 3, and then this one is 2 up here. All right, let's see if that works. Yeah, it works. Awesome. All right, give the label elements text such that the input comes before the text. Then give the input elements a value matching the text. Then give the input elements a value. Okay, yeah, this text should either be true or false. Okay, so we're just going to do true and false here and everywhere. Okay, so we're going to go true, false. We're going to go true, and oh, it has to come after. I know. Such that the input comes before the text. Yeah, okay, we do actually. I have to put this after here. So here, here, and then after. True, and then false here. All right, so that's coming after, and then we need the values of each of these. Okay, so alts, let's grab all four of these again. We'll go value equals true. Second one is going to be false for each of these. This one's false. All right, let's see if that works. You should give the first label of the text true or false. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh, it has to be uppercase. Control Shift L. Okay, Control Shift L will select all of those ones, and I can just make them uppercase now. Let's grab this one, Control Shift L. Let's go false uppercase. Let's try it now. Yay, awesome. All right, if you click on the radio inputs, you might notice both inputs within the same true-false field set can be selected at the same time. Group the relevant inputs together such that only one input from a pair can be selected at a time. I think we do this with name. So if we go down here, we go name equals first, and then we try selecting one or the other, then I can only select one. Okay. And for this one, we'll do that same thing. So we'll go name second. Go second. Let's see if that works. Awesome. All right. To prevent unnecessary repetition, target the four pseudo elements of the P element. Okay, so we'll go P and then before, something like that, and give it a content equal to question number, like so. Hey, that works. Awesome. All right, the final section of this quiz will contain a dropdown and a text box. Begin by nesting a div with a class of form row. By nesting a div with a class of form row. So let's get our div in here, give it a class equals form row, and then nest 4 div elements inside of it. All right, so let's just bring that down quick. Bring this up. Bring this up. And then 4 div alternating their class attributes with question block and answer. All right, so we're going to go question block. Bring this down. We're going to make this one answer. And now we're going to grab both of these, Alt Shift down, and that should be those 4. Awesome. All right, within the div question block elements, nest 1 label element and give the label element's text content. Within the question block, so we need 1 label. All right, so we'll go label, label, and give some text content. Text content. Haha, I'm so smart. All right, step 36, within the first div answer element, nest 1 required select element with 3 option elements. Nest 1 required select. All right, so we're going to go select, and this has to be required. And then within there, we need 3 options, right? Yeah, 3 options. All right, so we're going to go option / option, and then 3 of those. And then give the first option a value of blank. Okay, so value equals blank. And the text, select an option. Select an option. Option. All right, give the second option a value of yes, and then value of no. Okay, so value equals yes. The second one is no. And then we can just, I'm guessing we put yes and no in here. And it has to be uppercase maybe. Yep, it does. Okay, awesome. Let's make that uppercase. Try again. There we go. If we want to see where that's showing up, it's down here. There it is. Are you a front-end developer? Select an option, yes or no. Okay. Link the first label element to the select element and give the select element a name attribute. Link the first label element to the select element. Okay, so we're going to go for equals our select, and then we're going to do an ID equals select, and give the select element a name attribute. So we're going to go name equals select as well, just to keep it consistent. All right, nest 1 text area element within the second div dot answer elements. Okay, so we're gonna nest a text area in here, text area / text area, and set the number of rows and columns it has. I think we could do that with like here, so we can do calls equal like 10, and we can do rows equal 10 or whatever we want, and that should show up down here. There's our beautiful text area. Give the text some placeholder text. Okay, so we're gonna go placeholder equals description. All right, and then down here we can see that placeholder text. Let's see if that works. Awesome. All right, as with other input and label, yeah, they changed it to rows 5, columns 24. As with other input and label elements, link the text area to its corresponding label. All right, so we're going to go for equal text area. And then within our text area, we're going to give an ID equal to text area. And also give it a name equal to text area. All right, let's see if that works. It does, awesome. Do not forget to give your form a submit button. All right, so down at the bottom, inside of our form, we'll just add a submit button, or button, whoops, button / button, and we can do type submits, and then we can say submits here. And then down here, we should have a button that says submit, which we do. Should display uppercase submit. There we go, that works. Step 41, 2 final semantic HTML elements for this project are the footer and address elements. Footer element is a container for a collection of content that is related to the page, and the address element is a container for contact information for the author of the page. After the main element, add one footer element and nest one address element within it. All right, so we're going to go footer. And footer is just like a div again, except semantically it is the footer. All right, and then nest one address element within it. Address. Address might be special, I'm not sure. Let's see if that works. Awesome. Within the address element, add the following. Okay, we'll grab that and paste it here. Well, that was pretty easy. The address element does not have to contain a physical geographical location. It can be used to provide a link to the subject, a link around the text FreeCodeCamp with this link. All right. So we're going to give it an anchor tag and then break the anchor. And then inside of here, we're going to have the href point to that URL. And that should be good. Awesome. All right, back to styling the page. Select the list elements within the navigation bar and give them the following styles. All right. Within the navigation bar. So we're going to go nav greater than onward list greater than li. And then we're going to grab those and give them this. So there we have info, HTML, CSS. And just so you know what that does, if we click on HTML, it'll bring this down there, or CSS, it'll bring us to that section. All right, so go to the next challenge. Step 45. On the topic of visual accessibility, contrast between elements is a key factor. For example, the contrast between the text and the background of a heading should be at least 4.5 to 1. Change the font color of all the anchor elements within the list elements to something with a contrast ratio of at least 7 to 1 of all anchor elements. So I guess we want this to be a color of white. See if that works. You should use LIA. Okay. LIA. So that it only grabs these ones and it doesn't grab the FreeCodeCamp down here. That's my guess. Yep. Sweet. All right, to make the navigation buttons look more like typical buttons, remove the underline from the anchor tags. All right, so we're going to go text decoration, none, and then it will get rid of the underline. And I think that's all we need. Let's try. Oh, I need a hover thing. Oh, on hover, I need it to show up. Then create a new selector targeting the navigation list elements so that when the cursor hovers over them, the background color and text color are switched. Oh, and the cursor becomes a pointer. Okay, so we're going to grab our nav ul li hover, like they say. And then we're going to do, what is it, color, background color and text color switched, and cursor becomes pointer. So we can do cursor pointer here, and then we can do background color is white, and color is this black color. Let's see if it yells at me for that. Yep, it wants this color instead. Thank you for that. Background color. You should give hovered elements a background color of that. Oh, okay. I thought they wanted it switched, apparently not. Oh, that's like a gray color. Okay, what color do they want that to be? Oh, this 1B color. Okay, let's do that then. All right, looks good. So now when we hover over this, that's what it looks like. Tidy up the header by using Flexbox to put space between the children and vertically center them. All right, so, okay, we have Flexbox on the header already. Put space between the children. All right, so we're going to go justify content space between and align items center, maybe. That's this part. Let's see if that works. You should give the header position a fixed. Okay, position fixed. See if that works. A header position of fixed. Oh, position. You should give the header a top of 0. Top equals 0. Okay, that's all we needed. Awesome. All right, when the screen width is small, the H1 does not wrap its text content how it should. Align the text for the H1 element in the center. All right, so we're going to go text align center to get that in the center. Then give the main padding such that the student info section header can be fully seen. Student info section header can be fully seen. What do you mean? Oh, student info's up there above it. I see it has to like come down. Main padding. And give main padding. Okay, so we need main. And that has to have padding of 20 pixels, maybe. 40 on the X and Y, and maybe it's fine like that. Padding top, just padding top. Okay. Let's see if that works. Nice. Awesome. All right. On small screens, the unordered list and the navigation bar overflows the right side of the screen. Fix this by using Flexbox to wrap the UL content, then set the following CSS properties. All right. So we need display flex, then set these ones. We need align item center, padding inline start, and height 100%. Let's see if that works. You should give the UL flex wrap a wrap. I think it said that. I just had brain fart. Flex wrap. Wrap. See if that's good. Nice. All right, step 50, set the width of the section elements to 80%. So section, we need width 80%. Simple. Then use margins to center the section elements. So we're going to use margin, adding 10 pixels to the bottom margin. So we're going to do, what is it, 0, auto, 10 pixels. Is that how that works? Also ensure the section elements cannot be larger than 600 pixels in width. So we're going to go max width of 600 pixels, and that should be good. Awesome. So yeah, looking a lot nicer. All right, replace the top margin of the H2 elements with 60 pixels of top padding. Top margins of the H2 elements. So we're going to go margin top of 60 pixels. Wait, what? Of top padding. Replace the top margin of H2 elements with 60 pixels of top padding. So it wants padding top. Okay, let's try that. Margin top of 0. Margin top of 0. So we need both of those. Okay. Add padding to the top and left of the info elements. So we're going to go .info. We need padding and set the other values to 0. So top and left. We need top and top and left. So the other ones are 0. Something like that. Sweet. So it goes top, then right, then bottom, then left. Give the .form row elements top margin and left and right padding. The other padding value should be 0. So we're going to grab our form row. Top margin. So margin top, 10 pixels, and left and right padding. So we're going to go padding of 0 and 10 pixels. Then increase the font size for all input elements. All right, so we're going to grab input elements like so. Grab the font size and increase it to like 30 or 20 pixels maybe. So that's a lot bigger there. I think that's what they wanted. Yep, awesome. All right, step 54, to make the first section look more inline, target only the input elements within the .info elements. Okay, so we're going to go .info input, or greater than input, to grab all the inputs inside of that info elements, and set their width to 50%. All right, so now they're about the same size. And we need text align to the left. Text align left. Awesome. All right, target all label elements within .info. Okay. So we're gonna go .info greater than label and set their width to 10%. So we're gonna go width of 10% and make it so they do not take up less than 55 pixels. So min width of 55 pixels should be good. Um, what is this? Info label. So all the labels. Awesome. To align the input boxes with each other, set the display property to inline block. Input boxes, display of inline block. And for all input and label elements within info elements. Input and label elements. So we need this for both of them, I believe. Also align the label elements text to the right. All right, so this one we want text align to the right. Text align to the right. See if that works. Definitely looks okay. You should use either that or that. What? Oh, oh, okay. I see. So it doesn't want me to repeat all this stuff. It wants me to grab both of them at once. So info inputs and .info label. And I guess the greater sign is optional to do this. So we want display inline block for them. Paste, and then we can get rid of this one. Let's check that. Yep, awesome. To neaten the question block elements, set the following CSS properties. All right. So grab question block and then paste that in here. Should be good. Awesome. All right, make the paragraph elements appear as a higher priority. All right, we're going to grab that and then make paragraphs. So we're going to grab paragraphs with P and then just paste that in there. So there's our paragraphs, I guess. Question 1 is our P. Let's see if that works. Yep. Step 59, it is useful to see the default border around the field set elements during development. However, it might not be the style you want. Remove the border and bottom padding on the question elements. Okay, so we're going to go dot question, and then we're going to go border none and remove bottom padding. So we want padding bottom of 0. And there we go. We have no border around those. Let's go. Step 60, remove the default styling for the list items of answer list. Okay, so we're going to grab answers list. Remove the default styling for the list items. So we're going to go, oh, I forgot what it is. What's that property? And remove the unordered list padding. So we're going to go padding of 0 for the unordered list. Oh, shoot. Where's that find? I forgot what the thing was. Oh, list style. That's what it is, huh? List style. List style of none. And then that will get rid of the dots in front of it. Awesome. All right. Give the submit button FreeCodeCamp style design. All right. So we're going to grab our button like so and give it these properties. Display block, margin, width, padding, font size, background, and border. And now it will look like this. Awesome. Set the footer background color to that. All right, so footer, we want background color set to hashtag 2A2A40. Oh my gosh, 2A2A40. And use flexbox. Okay, so display flex to horizontally center the text. So horizontally center it would mean justify content of center. And that makes our footer in the center there. You can barely read the text. Now we cannot read the text, target the footer, and anchor elements within. to set the font color to a color of adequate contrast ratio. So footer, and then we want the anchor elements, and then we want color to be white so that it's readable. Looks like it is now. Oh, you should use footer and footer A. Okay, like so. So now it's all readable. Nice. Step 64, horizontally center all the text within the address element and add some padding. All right, so address, we want display flex first, or maybe just do text line center. Let's try that first. Okay, that centers it. You should have address padding top, okay, and add some padding. Oh, okay. Padding top of 10 pixels. And I spelled padding wrong. There we go. Now it looks like that. Oh, and add some padding. Okay, I'll just, what the heck? Just do padding. There we go. All right, clicking on the navigation link should jump the viewport to the relevant section. However, the jumping can be disorienting, so that's why we want scroll behavior smooth. Select all elements, scroll behavior of smooth. And this one is really cool. So now when we click on here, it's a smooth scroll down instead of jumpy. So that's really awesome. I wrap the style rule that sets scroll behavior smooth within a media at rule where the media feature prefers reduced motion. Okay. Within an at media rule, wrap the style rule within that sets scroll behavior smooth within a media rule. What? Okay. Let's see here. So we need at media. And this one is prefers reduced motion. Something like this. Braces, and then we put this in here. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, I didn't think it was. Motion, no preference. Now I see. So colon, no preference. It's okay. So let's see if that works. Okay, it does. I'm not exactly sure what that does. Certain types of motion-based animations can cause discomfort for some users. In particular, people with vestibular disorders have sensitivities to certain motion triggers. The media at rule has a feature called prefers reduced motion to set CSS based on the user's preferences. It can take one of the following values. Okay, so I guess it's the user's preference. And if they have that preference, then it won't do it or will do it. Okay. All right, finally, the navigation accessibility can be improved by providing keyboard shortcuts. The access key attribute accepts a space separated list of access keys, for example. Space separated list, yep. And give each of the navigation links a single letter access key. Oh, okay. Well done, you have completed this project. Okay. You give each of the navigation links. So in here, alts, we need access key equals I, maybe. And let's see if that works. Yay, it does. Awesome. Normally they'd be different, I'm guessing. But I think that's it. I think we finally did it. Oh, no. Wait, yeah, this is the build attribute page now. Okay. So there we have it. We did our learn accessibility by building a quiz. Here's our beautiful quiz. We can preview it and stuff. Looks pretty good. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it a like. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. I'll read all the comments if you have questions. I'll try and answer them the best I can. If it's a weird question, I have no idea what you're talking about. I might not answer it, but anyways, I'll see you later, and thanks for watching. Bye.